गोपीजनवल्लभा गिरिवरधारी यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यशोदानन्दन व्रजजनरञ्जन यमुनातीरा वनचारी यमुनातीरा वनचारी जय राधा माधव कुंज विहारी हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे हरे कृष्णा कृष्णा हरे 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 राम राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम 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 हरे 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 कृष्णा 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 हरे राम राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे 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 कृष्णा हरे राम राम हरे कृष्णा 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 हरे 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 राम राम हरे हरे जय श्री राधा वृंदावन चंद्र की जय। ओम श्रीपाद परमहंस परिव्राजकाचार्य अष्टोत्तर श्रीमद् डिवाइन ग्रेस अभय चरणारविंद भक्ति वेदांत स्वामी श्रील प्रभुपाद की अनंत कोटि वैष्णव वृंद की नामाचार्य हरिदास ठाकुर की प्रेम से कहो श्री कृष्ण चैतन्य प्रभु नित्यानंद श्री अद्वैत गदाधर श्रीवासादि गौर भक्त वृंद की श्री श्री राधा कृष्ण गोप गोपीनाथ श्याम कुंड राधा कुंड गिरि गोवर्धन की ब्रजभूमि वृंदावन धाम की, मथुरा धाम की, द्वारकापुरी धाम की, पुरुषोत्तम क्षेत्र जगन्नाथपुरी धाम की, श्री मायापुर नवदीप धाम की, गंगामयी यमुनामयी की, भक्ति देवी तुलसी देवी की, समावेत भक्त वृंद की. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories to assembled devotees. All glories, all glories, all glories to Shri Guru and Shri Gauranga. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshuvannmilitam Yena Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Shri Chaitanya Manobishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Kadamahyam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Shri Guru Shri Yuta Padakamalam Shri Gurun Vaishnavamscha Shri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Shri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Shri Vishakhanvitamscha Nama Om Vishnupadaya Krishna Pristhaya Bhutale Shrimate Bhaktivedanta Swami Niti Namine Namaste Saraswate Deve Gauravani Pracharine Nirvishesha Shunyavadi Paschatya Deshatarine Vancha Kalpatarubhyascha Kripa Sindhubhya Eva Cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Shri Advaita Gadadhara Shri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya. Narayanam Namaskritya Naram Chaiva Narottamam Devim Saraswatim Vyasam Tato Jayamudiraye Nashtaprayeshva Bhadreshu Nityam Bhagavata Sevaya Bhagavatyuttama Shloke Bhaktir Bhavati Naishtiki Krishnaya Vasudevaya Devaki Nandanaya Cha Nanda Gopa Kumaraya Govindaya Namo Namaha. Welcome all of you for the Srimad Bhagavatam class. Today morning we are discussing from the 6th canto, 4th chapter, text number 23 and 24. Please all of you repeat. Shri Prajapatiruvacha Nama Paraya Vidathanubhutaye Gunatraya Bhasa Nimitta Bandhave Adrishtadhamne Gunatattva Buddhibhir Nivrittamana Yadadhe Swayambhuve Shri Prajapatiruvacha Nama Paraya Vidathanubhutaye Gunatraya Bhasa Nimitta Bandhave Adrishtadhamne Gunatattva Buddhibhir Nivrittamana Yadadhe Swayambhuve Shri Prajapatiruvacha Nama Paraya Vidathanubhutaye Gunatraya Bhasa Nimitta Bandhave अदृष्टधाम्ने गुणतत्त्वबुद्धिभिर् निवृत्तमानाय दधे स्वयंभुवे। श्री प्रजापतिर्वाच नमः पराया विदथानुभूतये गुणत्रयाभास निमित्तबन्धवे अदृष्टधाम्ने गुणतत्त्वबुद्धिभिर् निवृत्तमानाय दधे स्वयंभुवे। श्री प्रजापतिरुवाच नमः पराया वितथानुभूतये गुणत्रयाभास निमित्तबन्धवे अदृष्टधाम्ने गुणतत्त्वबुद्धिभिर् निवृत्तमानाय दधे स्वयंभुवे। श्री प्रजापतिरुवाच नमः पराया वितथानुभूतये गुणत्रयाभास निमित्तबन्धवे अदृष्टधाम्ने गुणतत्त्वबुद्धिभिर् निवृत्तमानाय दधे स्वयं। माताजी। श्री प्रजापतिरुवाच नमः पराया वितथानुभूतये गुणत्रयाभास निमित्तबन्धवे अदृष्टधाम्ने गुणतत्त्वबुद्धिभिर् निवृत्तमानाय दधे स्वयंभुवे। श्री प्रजापति उवाच The Prajapati Daksha said, Namaha, all respectful obeisances, Paraya, unto the transcendence, Avitatha, correct, Anubhutaye, unto him, whose spiritual potency brings about realization of him, Gunatraya, of the three material modes of nature, Abhasa, of the living entities who have the appearance, Nimitta, and of the material energy, Bandhave, unto the controller, Adrishtadhamne, who is not perceived in his abode, Gunatattva Buddhibihi, by the conditioned souls whose poor intelligence dictates that real truth is found in the manifestations of the three modes of material nature. Nivrittamanaya, who has surpassed all material measurements and calculations. Dadhe, I offer, Swayambhuve, unto the Supreme Lord, who is manifest with no cause. Translation purport by His Divine Grace, A.C. Bhaktivedanta Swami Srila Prabhupada ki. Prajapati Daksha said, the Supreme Personality of Godhead is transcendental to the illusory energy and the physical categories it produces. He possesses the potency for unfailing knowledge and supreme willpower. And he is the controller of the living entities and illusory energy. The conditioned souls who have accepted this material manifestation as everything cannot see him, for he is above the evidence of experimental knowledge, self-evident and self-sufficient. He is not caused by any superior cause. Let me offer my respectful obeisances unto him. So Daksha Prajapati in his Hamsaguhya prayer here says that the Supreme Lord is beyond the Maya Shakti and he has unfailing knowledge and supreme will. And he is a controller of both the Jivas and Maya, both. So the tripod of Jiva, Maya and Krishna above is very important knowledge in Bhagavad Gita also. The Jiva thinks Maya is everything because he is only seeing Maya in this world. But above both Jivas and the Maya is the Supreme Lord, who is a supreme witness, who is saying Maya Adhyakshena Prakriti Suite Sacharacharam. This material world is created in such a way, the glitter and glamour of material energy keeps the living entities completely spellbound as if by a magic wand. And they are dancing to the tune of material energy. So material energy, Durga Devi, she throws the three guna ropes and captures the subtle bodies of all living entities. And because the jivas are enamored by the desires stored in their subtle bodies, they dance according to the tune of Durga Devi by connecting with one of the three gunas. And such living entities who are blinded by this glitter and glamour of this world, they cannot see that there is Supreme Lord above the jivas and Maya. They cannot see. Shri Radheshyam Chandra ki. Shri Prabhupada, from his real experience, he explained this nicely. In Vrindavan, once Prabhupada was taking a massage in the daytime. So one devotee was applying oil on Prabhupada's head and doing like this. And he was sitting in the veranda in Vrindavan in a hut. So in the hut wall, there was a triangular hole where people generally keep lamps in the houses. So there, some sparrows were coming with straws and they were trying to put the straws and make a nest there. And Prabhupada, while taking oil massage, he looked there and told the devotee, these sparrows make a lot of noise for me in the early morning when I am trying to do translations of Bhagavatam. I am giving purports. These birds come and make sound. They keep on making sounds. They disturb my work. So the devotee decided that because they may disturb Prabhupada, they should not make the nest here. They should make nest elsewhere. So the devotee wanted to drive away the birds, but the birds were coming again and again. The bird was coming and putting the straw there. The devotee would remove the straw, again the bird will put the straw. Again the devotee would remove it and massage Prabhupada, again they will put it. The devotee was wondering what to do. She took a paper and crushed it and then pushed it inside the hole. So then the bird came with his mate. So husband and wife bird, both of them, they went around it and then they pulled out the paper. They threw it. Again they brought the straw and putting it for building a house. Then the devotee observed that. Then he took one cardboard, nicely folded it and then inserted it inside. Now again those two birds came. They were moving around trying to pull out the cardboard. Half an hour they tried. They couldn't. Then they accepted the defeat and went away. So Prabhupada was observing all these things. And then he made a comment. Just like these birds are trying to make a nest here to make their lives comfortable. All living entities in this world also want to utilize the resources offered by the material nature to pick up those things. And they want to create good facilities and amenities and lead a very comfortable life in this world. You will see that all human beings are looking for better and better comfort. You agree? They want more money, more opulent house, more opulent car, more opulent dress, and nice opulent foods to eat, long duration of life, healthy body. Correct, no? These are all temporary material achievements which the living entities most aspire for. At the same time, Prabhupada said, the material energy is throwing sand in their plan. When they try to make their lives comfortable, you will see that somebody wants a healthy body, they get some disease, some sickness can come in the body. Somebody is very proud that he got a big job, like in Bombay, one fellow got a job in Nariman Point. So he was standing in the bus stop and showed his friend, see the tallest building in the entire Nariman Point area, do you see that? His friend said, yes. He said, that's my office, he said. Huh? My office means I am working there in the tallest building. That means I am a very big fellow. The next day he was fired from the job. So that is the way this material world is. We may be proud of working in the tallest tower of the place, and next day we may not have the job in this world. So the material energy always throws unexpected, uncertain, and uncontrollable situations on us. They are not expected by us. Suddenly they come. And they are uncertain. Nobody can predict in advance. And also, even when it comes, you can't control it. You have no power to control it. Maybe a little bit you can control, but we cannot fully control. Like these two birds are defeated. So, the illusory energy is always like this. That is the difference between material existence and spiritual existence. In spiritual existence, everything is certain. And Krishna and the Jivas live very happily there. There is no danger there. Padam padam yat padam na tesham, it is said. There is no danger there. The bodies are all spiritual. Nobody can cause disease to your body. Nobody can damage your body by an accident. Yeah. Like one devotee was going in a car and there was a bridge. And a dog was running across the road. He was president of one of the temples. Big bulldog was running across the road. So he wanted to put the brake, sudden brake he put in order to save the dog. But then the car, which was going on the road, it just got off the road and it fell from the top of the bridge down. Whole car fell down. As it is, the car came and landed, just like you see in movies, like that it lands. Came and landed. Of course, the devotee fainted. And then the people in the neighborhood village came and then they saw the situation, they picked up. So, fortunately, not even a scratch in the body, nothing has happened. But the back spine got some problem. Severe problem because of the sudden jerk. He just couldn't get up from the bed. For almost 2 years, he was practically bedridden. Everything has to do in the bed, moving this way, that way. So, the material world, you will see that the bodies are very fragile. Anytime they can die. Anytime they can get disease. And also the things that we accumulate, anytime they can be taken away from us. But the glitter and glamour is so appealing to the minds of the conditioned souls that they are always chasing after temporary perishable commodities only. They are not turning their vision, they are not uplifting their vision to the lotus feet of the Lord. By paying attention to the lotus feet of Krishna, one will go to the spiritual world where these dangers are not there. There is no disease, there is no old age, there is no accident, there is no uncertainty there. It's a spiritual world with spiritual bodies and everything perfect, all perfect. In this world, all happinesses are mixed with suffering, pleasures mixed with pain, victory mixed with defeat, honor mixed with dishonor in this world. The world of dualities. But that world is free from dualities. So therefore he is saying, if one is allured by the glittering illusion energy, they become blinded to the presence of the Supreme Lord. Just like these birds, they were going and trying to pull out the paper ball. They don't know that somebody is making arrangement to block that place. They were not able to see. So Prabhupada was smiling. Prabhupada said, look at these foolish birds, how they are blind. They don't know that somebody is blocking their program. Because they are not supposed to come here. But repeatedly they try to work against it. So in this world also, the living beings want to enjoy without God. They want a kingdom of God without. They tell God, you relax, we want to just enjoy, that's all. In fact, even if they go to God also, they ask God to support their sense gratification program. That's what they want. So, but if some living beings are intelligent, they turn to the loving devotion service of the Lord. They are very fortunate. They can see Jivas, they can see Maya, they can see Krishna above. All the three they can see. That's called Sambandha Jnana. What is the Sambandha between Krishna and the Jiva? Mamevamsho Jiva Loke, Jiva Bhuta Sanatana. The Jiva is eternally part and parcel of Krishna. That is the. So, Sambandha between Krishna and the Jiva. You see, if you take a rock candy, if you break it, The small broken piece of rock candy and the big rock candy, they are exactly similar. All qualities are similar in both, isn't it? Both are sweet. Both have similar characteristics. Similarly, the jiva being a part and parcel of Lord is a minute sample of Krishna. Prabhupada says we are like minute samples. One place Prabhupada writes that. Very similar quality, but we have become covered over by the material energy, due to which we have lost our luster. Just like a red hot coal, in touch with fire, it is shining. But sometimes the red hot coal, it falls out of the fire. Then it becomes blackish. It has no more charm. It cannot do the work of fire. But in touch with fire, the red hot, the coal can behave exactly like fire. So we have to just put ourselves in touch with Krishna, that's all. Just connect with Krishna, we will shine. Disconnect with Krishna, we will become good for nothing. Just like when a lorry or a truck or something is going, sometimes a nut or a bolt falls off from the wheel. Correct, no? So now, if that screw which fell off, it is again going to fit in the lorry, it will be valuable. You go to the market to get a standard bolt to fit in that place. It's very costly. Because that's a standard part which belongs to the company. Only the company dealers, they will give you. It's costly. Say, it may be 200 rupees if you have to get that bolt to fit it in the lorry. The same bolt which has fallen on the road, if some village boy picks it up and goes to the scrap shop and says, I found this bolt, please give me some money. They'll give him 10 paisa. That means if the bolt is same, bolt or nut, it's same. But if it is of scrap value, it is 10 paise. But if it's going to fit in the lorry, it is 200 rupees. Similarly, if you are ready to fit in Krishna's program, your value increases. If you don't want to fit in Krishna's program, you want to be independent, we are asar, good for nothing. The jiva becomes practically good for nothing. You understand the difference? So in village they call Bangar Kabab, they say. That's all. Bangar Kabab means you just take a nut or a bolt lying on the road, Bangar Kabab, good for nothing. But the standard parts are valuable, which are fitting in the larger plan of the whole automobile. Similarly, the spiritual world is a place where Krishna is the center. We are ready to fit in spiritual world, our value increases very much. You can see how much Krishna values the devotees. See Sudama Brahman, Krishna is washing his feet, feeding him prasad, massaging his feet, sitting with him and talking, because his value has increased, because he is ready to connect with Krishna's plan. You connect with Krishna's plan, your value will increase like anything. And we disconnect from Krishna and say, no, I want to do my own thing. You have to do your own thing, we will be good for nothing. So it's a very simple phenomenon to understand. So here he says, the conditioned souls who have accepted this material manifestation as everything, actually we should accept Krishna as everything. If you accept Krishna is my be all and end all, you have heard the famous shloka, no? Tvameva mata cha pita tvameva bandhuscha sakha tvameva vidya dravidam tvameva sarvam mama deva deva. My dear Krishna, you are my mother, you are my father, you are my friend, you are my relative, you are my wealth, you are my education, you are my be all and end all. I have nobody besides you. You are my only shelter. So this mood, if we can adapt in approaching Krishna, and then material energy, we see it as Krishna's, one of the energies of Krishna, which can be taken and utilized in Krishna's service. If you see like that, then we are very blessed look it is. Whereas here he is saying the conditioned souls, on the contrary, they have accepted the material manifestation as everything. They have, like some people make money into God. Money is God, that's all for them. Making money and increasing bank balance is the goal of their life, that's all. Somebody has made TV their God. Day in and day out, they are with TV all the time. Somebody is all the time playing cards, gambling. Somebody has made a attraction to the opposite sex as God. So that is God for them. Woman is God for some men. For somebody, gold is God. In this way, people make material manifestations everything, like that. They become blinded, foolish living entities. Like just like an animal sometimes is running to drink the water at a distance which appears like a flowing river. When he runs nearby and puts the mouth, very greedily, all that he gets in the mouth is only dry, hot sand. Because what was there? Mirage. Similarly, the living beings in this world, considering material manifestation as everything, they hanker to get something. If they don't get, they get frustrated. If they get, they become proud. After becoming proud of getting something what they wanted, they become afraid of losing it, the prospect of losing it. And if they lose, they lament. All bad qualities come by increasing material hankering. We should increase spiritual hankering. Shunyaitam jagat sarvam govinda virahename. That should be increased. Prabhupada said govinda want should be increased, not material wants. The more we increase material wants, the more our heart will burn. It's not that you cannot use material things. We have a material body. We need some material things also. But material things are not worthy to chase after or hanker for. Whatever according to the fate Krishna sends, accept it to keep the body and soul together and increase Krishna want, Govinda want. Self-evident, and Lord is self-evident, self-sufficient, beyond experimental knowledge. He's not caused by any, he's the cause of all causes, sarva karana karanam. Purport, let's see, read Prabhupada what he says. The transcendental position of the Supreme Personality of Godhead is explained herewith. He is not perceivable by the conditioned souls who are accustomed to material vision and cannot understand that the Supreme Personality of Godhead exists in his abode, which is beyond that vision. See, there are two types of vision, material vision, spiritual vision. Om tat vishnum paramam padam sada pashyanti surayah diviva chakshuratatam vipraso vipanyavo jagravam samindate. So, this verse says that the Brahmanas can see the abode of Lord Vishnu very easily, and they can glorify that abode along with the Lord very confidently, very cheerfully, as if somebody is seeing your amalaka fruit in your hand. Like that, imagine if somebody keeps a watermelon in your hand, how easily you can see it. Like that, they can see the abode of Lord Vishnu very easily. Like for example, if I see outside now, I am not seeing the sun, but I can confidently say sun is in the sky. Correct, no? Based on the sunlight that I am seeing. Similarly, Brahmanas can clearly see that the whole Vishwam, material existence which has sprung about, it has sprung from Vishnu and his energy. It is his energy. That's why in Vishnu Sahasranama, the very first word is Vishwam. It starts with Vishwam. One of the names of Lord Vishnu is Vishwam only. Vishwam Vishnurva Shatkaro Bhuta Vabhyavat Prabhu Bhutagrid Bhuta Bridbhavo Bhutatma Bhutabhavanaha Bhutatma Paramatma Cha Muktanam Paramagatihi Avyaya Purusha Sakshi Kshetra Gnoksharaye, which all the names that comes later. First name Vishwam is saying. Lord is. That means the world itself is Lord only because it is his energy. I can see like that. Actually, in the preliminary stage, we can see, oh, Krishna is so kind. He is giving me rain shower. He is giving me sunlight. He is giving me moonlight. He is giving me nice fruits and berries and, cereals and spices and, flowers and everything. So this is the beginning, preliminary step. Then not only you see his love in the form of eatables, you also see his love coming in the form of transcendental knowledge in the Guru Parampara. And you see his mercy in the form of, the holy rivers and the holy temples, holy devotees. Gradually our perception and of the Krishna's presence will increase if one practices chanting Hare Krishna, studying Bhagavatam. So that is spiritual vision. Gradually we start perceiving the presence of Krishna very strongly in our life. But otherwise he says that conditioned souls cannot perceive because they see him with material vision. Even if a materialistic person could count all the atoms in the universe, he would still be unable to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead. This comes in Muchukunda's prayers. Muchukunda asked when he saw Lord Vishnu in the Gufa, he was stunned because just a few minutes before that, Kalayavana had come there. Muchukunda saw him and whole Kalayavana's body got burned down. All that remained was only skeleton. And then Kalayavana turned his attention to another person standing with a beautiful mukut and kundal and bluish form, having Shankha Chakra Gada Padma and wearing a pitambar. Beautiful personality, smiling personality. He saw just like Balaji we see. Similar form. He saw that form. And his eyes diminished in their potency. Rather than burning down this person, his own potency was diminished. So then he told to that person, who are you? Ko Bhavan, Iha Samprapto. He said, Kandare, Gahvare, he said, in this forest, in this Giri Kandare, in the Gufa, I have found you, the beautiful personality. Who are you? You are not standing on the ground, you are standing on a lotus. And your form is beautiful. And then he asked him, are you Vibhavasau? Are you Surya Deva or Agni Dev? Or are you one of the great Lokapalas? Or are you the Supreme Lord? So like that he was asking questions to the Lord. Maybe I think you are the supreme truth beyond all devatas. You are Deva Deva Jagatpate. So like that he is asking him questions. And then the king says, it is etiquette that when you meet a great person, you should not ask him, who are you? First you should tell who you are. That self-introduction is important. And then you can ask about him, who are you? So then he said, I come in the lineage of Ikshwaku, Mandata and Ikshwaku, all those great kings. But I am not as great as them. I am a fallen soul, he said. I am an ordinary king. Like that Muchukunda said. And then he said, can you please tell me your name, your family, and which personality are you? Please tell me. At that time, Krishna told him, Janma karma vidhanani santi me anga sahasrasha. He said, I have thousands of names, thousands of forms. Which name form can I tell you? I come as Matsya, Kurma, Varaha, Narsingha, so many avatars I come. I come as Vasudeva, Sankrishna, Pradyumna, Aniruddha, so many forms. I have so many avatars, like I have Guna avatars, I have Manvantara avatars, I have, many Shakti-Avesh avatars. I also come as Purusha avatars. I have unlimited forms, unlimited names. Every time I do an act, immediately I get a name. I climb on the chariot of Arjun, people immediately call me Partharathi ki jai. I run away from the battlefield, people say Ranchod Rai ki jai. Now I lie down on Yashoda's lap and immediately the people say Yashodanandan ki jai. Isn't it? I climb on the hoods of Kaliya to dance, people say Kaliya Nartan ki jai. So you will see that as soon as I do an act, I get a name. As soon as I lift the Govardhan, people say Giridhari ki jai. Isn't it? So which name I can tell you? Even as Krishna alone, I have a million names. And as Rama, Krishna, Govinda, so many other names I have. You are asking me very coolly, tell me your name. Which name I can tell? You say. At that time he says, Pachit Rajam Si Vimame. He says, a scientist may be able to count the number of sand particles in the entire universe, but he won't be able to count by names and forms and activities. Nevertheless, my dear king, I don't want to bewilder you anymore. He said, I will tell you, at this current moment, I have come as the son of Vasudeva. So people call me as Vasudeva. Vasudeva and Devaki. Like that the Lord says. That's what Prabhupada says here. Even a materialistic person could count all the atoms in the universe, he would still be unable to understand the Supreme Personality of Godhead as confirmed in the Brahma Samhita. Pantastu koti shatavatsara sampragamyo vayoratapi manaso muni pungavanam sopyasti yat prapadasimya vichintya tattve govindamadi purusham tamaham bhajami. See, Muni means a speculator. Muni Pungava means leader of big speculators. Muni Pungava. And they can sit down and meditate and go anywhere they wish at the speed of mind. Even such Muni Pungavas are able to only see the shining toe nail of Krishna. They cannot even see the form of Krishna fully. What to speak of playing with Krishna like the covered boys in Vrindavan. Even such a great Muni Pungavas. The conditioned souls may try to understand Supreme Personality of Godhead for many billions of years through their mental speculative processes, traveling at the speed of the mind or the wind. But still the absolute truth will remain inconceivable to them because a materialistic person cannot measure the length and breadth of the Supreme Personality of Godhead's unlimited existence. If the absolute truth is beyond measurement, one may ask, how can one realize Him? The answer is given here by the word Swayambhuve. One may understand Him or not, but nevertheless He is existing in His own spiritual potency. Infinite can be understood by the infinitesimal, by infinite's mercy only. Like there is one verse which we say in Jagannath Rath we say, Rathe Vamanam Drishtva Punarjanmana Vidyate. You heard this? Rathe means inside the chariot, who is sitting? Vamanam. Who is Vamana sitting inside the Jagannath chariot? Jagannath. Jagannath is actually somebody who can become like a Vamana, Batu Vaman, small Vaman, and he can also become Trivikrama also. He can occupy the whole universe, and he can actually be a small Brahmana boy. Similarly, Lord Jagannath saying that my devotees are putting up a Rath Yatra here in this city, and poor fellows, they cannot give me a chariot which is of the size of Brahmanda. Therefore, for their sake, I will make myself like a small Vamana and enter into the chariot. That's the meaning of that. Rate Vamanam Drishva Punarjanmana Vidite, he said. So, Lord can become smaller than the smallest. Aniyo Raniyan, Mahator, Mahiyan. He can become bigger than the biggest, smaller than the smallest if he wishes. So, of course, Krishna can become a child in the lap of Yashoda and exchange pure love, reciprocate. That way he can become captured and controlled by the love of the devotee. Ajitam Parajitam, that is it. He is unconquerable, but he can be conquered by love. He can be seen with the eyes tinged with love. So, Jnana Chakshu means to see. I am not the body, I am spirit soul. And Avidya Chakshu means to think, I am the body. I am the body. Everything belongs to body, is mine. My body, my relatives and friends, my house, my car, my business. So to my place of birth. So my puppy dog. So considering everything in relation to my body, that is Avidya Anjan. And Avidya Chakshu. Jnana Chakshu means I am not the body. Body is simply like a car. I am a resident of the bodily car. Yeah. I am different from that's then you get a Jnana, Aham Brahmasmi. Then Premanjan means not only I see who are, I'll just show you just a minute. See this one? It's coming? Yeah, see this person, when he lies down, the soul comes out. The soul is different from the body. To realize I am the soul is Jnana Chakshu. And then to awaken the understanding of the great personality, Supreme Lord, and then connect to him with love. That is Prema Chakshu. One develops understanding. So, these are the three things we should know. Inert matter is basic thing, and then over and above that, the individual soul. And then the Supreme Lord beyond these two. Supreme Lord is beyond the matter and spirit, both. We are different from that. They're saying that child's body soul is coming out. You're saying? Yeah. So to see the difference of the soul from the body, correct, no? Yeah. And see the top picture to understand that. See this one. So I am an insignificant servant of the Lord. When I see this picture, this verse comes to my mind. Ayinanda tanuja kinkaram patitam mam vishame bhavam budhav kripaya tava pada pankaja stita dhuli sadrisham vichintaya. So we should delight in the servitorship to the Lord. That is more complete understanding. And then he told me to cover these two verses. This also, 24th one. Na yasya sakyam purusho vaiti sakyuhu sakha vasansam vasatah puresmin guno yatha gunino vyakta drishtes tasmai maheshaya namaskaromi. As the sense object, like Shabda Sparsha Rasa Rupa Gandha, 5 things, they cannot understand how the senses perceive them. For example, for each of these Shabda Sparsha Rasa Rupa Gandha, there are sense objects, tanmatras, correct? No? For example, for the eyes, there are forms. For the ears, there are sounds. For the nose, there are fragrance-giving objects, like flowers, for example. Like that. Similarly, for the tongue, there are tasty eatables. And for the skin, there are objects which we touch. So, in this way, the sense objects, they cannot understand how the senses perceive them. So, the conditioned soul, although residing in his body, along with the super soul, cannot understand how the supreme spiritual person, the master of material creation, he directs his senses. Like for example, say I have to pick up Kartal to sing Kirtan now. Now as soon as I have to pick up Kartal, the first thing what will happen is my eyes have to see, here is the Kartal. Then my hand will go there, then pick up the Kartal, correct? No? Can the hand see the Kartal? No. Eyes have to see. So Super Soul is the eye for all our activities. So Lord first sees, and then and once I see where it is, then the hand is given direction to go there and pick it up. Correct, no? So without that guidance of the eye, the hand cannot pick up the kartal. Similarly, the living entities cannot approach the sense objects without the sanction of the Super Soul. How foolish it is to think that I will enjoy something in this world. Even before enjoying, I should think, who is guiding me to that enjoyment? Super Soul. Without, to think that I will secretly enjoy is the height of, hallucination. Because there are 12 Sakshis watching us. Amongst those 12 Sakshis, the topmost Sakshi is Super Soul, witness. He's always watching at every moment. Even if you bolt the door in a room and you go and think I will do something alone, even inside the room, in every atom, Lord is present, is watching. So this is one kind of conscious awareness that we have to awaken, that wherever I am walking, the Super Soul is also walking with me in my heart. Prabhupada was telling one day with his small son, Vrindavan day, Prabhupada went to the market. So the small boy asked Prabhupada, Papa, you see, when we were at home, the moon was above our head in the sky. Now we have come to the market, again the moon is above us. Wherever we go, the moon is walking. Prabhupada is saying that. In the same manner, wherever we go, who follows? Super Soul follows. These Hutch people would, wherever you go, we come with you, they say, correct, no? You know why they say the Hutch people, wherever you go, we come? That means wherever you go, you will get the range. You will not have problem, correct, no? But there are places where you don't get range. Do you agree? Imagine you go to a remote place in the forest somewhere. When you go for farm houses for any shibir, we find we don't get the range. But there is no place where Super Soul's range is not there. Even if you go to the most remotest place in the Congo forest, there also Super Soul will come with you. There's no place. That's the whole point. And he has to sanction us, he has to guide us. Only then we can do anything. But we don't see him. For example, look at this one. Now the small kid's whole attention is where? He's in the cycle. The cycle is material energy. So the living entity is focusing only on material energy. His whole attention is, I want to drive the cycle, but he doesn't know someone is guiding from behind. See? Isn't it? That person he doesn't see. So who is the guiding person? That is Super Soul, yeah. We are being guided at every moment behind. But the child should turn around and say, oh, my papa is so nicely guiding. Otherwise I would have fallen along with the cycle long before. Isn't it? Yeah. The individual soul and the Supreme Soul live together within the body. This is confirmed in the Upanishads by the analogy the two friendly birds live in one tree. One bird eating the fruit of the tree and the other simply witnessing and directing. Samane vrikshe purusho nimagno anishesho chati muhyamanha. There is a verse which says that two birds are sitting in that tree. One is a fruit eating bird, another one is silent witness bird. That is Super Soul. And what is the fruit that the bird is eating? Sometimes we all, in the field of our body, we may cultivate a neem tree or we may cultivate a mango tree. So if you cultivate neem tree, you have to eat neem fruits. If you cultivate mango tree, you will eat mango fruits. So you have the choice what you want to cultivate. Like imagine a king gives 1,000-acre land to one farmer, 1 acre each. He tells them you can cultivate whatever you want in that. Somebody cultivates tobacco, somebody cultivates rice, somebody cultivates sugarcane. Different people cultivate different things. Similarly, the Lord has given us this material bodily machine. What do we want to do with this machine? Is our choice. And we have to reap the fruits of our actions in this body. That's what is a fruit-eating bird. Although the individual being who is compared to the bird that is eating is sitting with his friend, the Supreme Soul, the individual living being cannot see him. Actually, why we cannot see him? Because our minds are focused on enjoying. Therefore, we cannot see him. Like one time in the school, when we were small kids, the teacher asked, do you know when you see a currency note, whom do you see? So all children said, we only see the value, 100 rupee note, 50 rupee note. She said, there is one person's picture there. Have you seen? So people said, yes, yes, some man, some old man, but we never took attention to see who is that old man. Some old man's picture with the spectacles. And then teacher said, now you see, take out this currency note and you see, who is that fellow? Gandhi, correct. But why the children didn't see Gandhi? Because they looked at the currency note value with the desire to enjoy that note. So the currency note is like material energy. When you look at the material energy with the desire to enjoy, you don't see the Gandhi person. I mean, you don't see God and the material energy. You only see it with like this boy was handling holding the handle and going with the cycle. He didn't see the father at all. So when we look at the material energy with the enjoying propensity, we cannot see Krishna. But when we see that this material energy is producing so much miseries for me, and why is it producing misery? Who am I? What am I supposed to do with this material energy? There is one verse in 11th canto, Bhagavatam. Grihitvan api indriyairarthan yo na dveshti na hrishyati Vishnurmayam idam pashyan savai bhagavatottamaha. A uttama Bhagavat person does not hate material energy. He does not delight in material energy. But he knows that this is Vishnu Maya. Knowing that, he takes it all and he accepts it, but offers it to Krishna. He says. Like Prabhupada was accepting donations and he built temples. So we can accept material energy not for our enjoyment, but for Krishna's service. That's called Yukta Vairagya, we call it. Grihitva api indriyarthan. He accepts the sense objects, but yona dveshti na hrishyati. He doesn't hate them, delight in them. Then what does he do? Vishnur Mayam idam pashyan. Understand, this is Vishnu Maya, it is meant for Vishnu service. Like that. So, although the individual living being who is compared to the bird that is eating is sitting with his friend, the Supreme Soul, the individual living being cannot see him. Actually, the Super Soul is directing the workings of one's senses in the enjoyment of sense objects. But as these sense objects cannot see the senses, the conditioned soul cannot see directing soul. Like, gulab jamun, can the gulab jamun see the tongue? Or can the tongue see the gulab jamun? No. None of them can see each other. So the senses and such objects are coming together, but that combination is made possible by one supreme witness, which is Super Soul. Super Soul arranges that. The conditioned soul has desires, and the Supreme Soul fulfills them. But the conditioned soul is unable to see the Supreme Soul. Thus, Prajapati Daksha offers his obeisances to the Supreme Soul, the Super Soul, even though unable to see him. See, he is offering obeisances even without seeing the Lord. That's a very important point. So I am going in the road with my car. I see a red signal. Then I stop my car. That means I am saluting the signal. Because I know that behind this signal, there are government agents who are controlling that signal. Correct, no? If you ask a child, how is this signal changing, red to green, green to red? Child will say, I think, it is changing on its own. That is Bala Buddhi. Foolish. It is not automatic. Some traffic policeman is changing it. So behind this red and green signal, there is a traffic policeman and or government agents. And above that government, there is Prime Minister who is governing the whole thing. Similarly, material energy in this world puts us restrictions. For example, you drink liquor, you get liver cirrhosis. You smoke cigarettes, one gets, lung cancer. One indulges indiscriminately with opposite sex, then one gets sexually transmitted diseases. One eats tobacco, one gets ulcers. That means these are all the red signal put by material energy. So behind these actions, wherever there's a stoppage put up, that means material energy is doing these things. And she is not independent. She is the agency, but that agency is under the Supreme Lord Krishna. 9.10 Bhagavad Gita. Krishna says, Maya Adhyakshena Bhagavati. So, therefore we should salute. Why should we bow down? Actually, you can bow down anywhere on the earth. You are in the forest, you can bow down also because Krishna is everywhere. But we come to temple and bow down because he is most powerfully present here in the form of his Shri Vigraha. We can actually recognize his presence more nicely in a temple than when you are in the road or any other place. So, but even if you offer obeisances somewhere, remembering the Lord, it is still meaningful. It is not meaningless. Like many times we go to the holy places, correct, no? We say this is the place where Nanda Bhavan was there or Yashoda's Vokkal was there, correct now? It may not be exactly the same place. It may be here, there, anywhere. But if you offer obeisances with the correct understanding that Yashoda was doing, churning butter in this, somewhere in this location, remembering the past time, because spiritual phenomenon is not so much restricted by time and, time and space. So, therefore, Lord is present everywhere. And we should not think only when I see him I will bow down. No. Here Prajapati Daksha is not seeing the Supreme Soul. He is saying offering obeisances to the Supreme Soul, even though unable to see him. Another example is given is that, like for example, when we sometimes are in a situation where we cannot see. One time I heard that Gauranga Prabhu was telling, some devotees were put in the jail for distributing books in the airport or for some reason. So the devotees were not just sleeping in the jail. Guess what they were doing? They had Mangalarti, Narshingarti, Tulsiarti, everything in jail. They had nothing. Even the bead bag, everything was snatched away. They had empty hands. But then one devotee opened the altar. Just like that, he was just moving the hand like this. Other devotees offered obeisances. Yeah. And then one devotee was just doing like this. There was no mridangam in the hand. And one devotee was playing kartal, and they were all in that bhava of using all the instruments and singing and dancing. And Tulsi Arati, some devotee brought Tulsi and kept, and everybody was circumambulating and watering also like this. They were doing like this. And the atmosphere became so vibrant spiritually. Even the policeman who came inside put the chapel outside and came. Isn't it? So we call it as a Manasa Puja, correct now? And even if we do like that, because spiritual phenomenon is not restricted by the commodities, even if you don't have the commodities. Prabhupada, when he first started Kirtan in the park, he had that round one, what do you call it? Small drum? Bongo? Bongo, yeah. That only was beating. Later on he got the mridanga and everything. So, even if you have nothing, you can just clap the hands and do Kirtan also. So, therefore, there are no impediments to perform devotional service. Here, Prajapati Daksha is offering obeisances, knowing very well that I can't see Super Soul, but Super Soul is seeing me. Therefore, I am offering obeisances. This is a very, very good consciousness. That's a right consciousness. Like, if somebody is, say your spiritual master is inside the car, and somebody told you that Maharaj is sitting inside, he is talking on phone, he will come out after some time. But still you offer obeisances. Not that, he has to open the window, then only you will offer. So, because you can't see him from outside, but he can see you from inside. He will say, Hare, everybody is offering obeisances, what is happening to this fellow? He's not standing. Because you are demanding, first you open the window, show me your face, then only you'll offer obeisances. The cooling glass, he can see you, you can't see him. That is our situation with Super Soul also. I can't see Super Soul, but he can see me always. So, the more this awareness increases, that's what we call as conscience. Then we will be careful in all our actions. We will be cautious in how we act. Another example given is that although ordinary citizens work under the direction of the government, they cannot understand how they are being governed or what the government is. In this regard, Madhvacharya quotes the following verse from Skanda Purana. Yada rajña priyatvam tu pratya vedena chatmanaha tata jivo na yat sakhyam veti tasmai namostute. As the various servants in the different departments of big establishments cannot see the Supreme Managing Director under whom they are working, the conditioned souls cannot see the Supreme Friend sitting within their bodies. Let us therefore offer our respectful obeisances unto the Supreme, who is invisible to our material eyes. See, like when I was traveling in America, I had a program in Texas A&M, So after that, we are supposed to go to one devotee's house. So we reached the house before the devotee reached. Almost the devotee will take another 40 minutes to reach the home, but we reached before. Then we are supposed to wait outside. He said, "Oh, you don't have to wait inside, you can go because I'll open the door with my mobile," he said. From mobile only, he has to put some program, and the thing opened, the garage opened. So I put the car inside and we went inside. So why I am telling you this, nowadays things have become so developed, we can clearly see that this kind of control we are seeing even amongst the human beings. Like you are going on a road, if you speed up the vehicle beyond the speed limit, before you reach your house, the bill will come to you in your mobile. Correct, no? Similarly, if you are not paid for your mobile, they will give you a warning once, twice, thrice, and if you don't pay, your facility is cut immediately. You will see. So, but when you pay the money, then again it starts functioning. Correct, no? So in this way, we can see remotely human beings have so much control. Super soul, why can't he keep control? Huh? It's very easy for him. From him only we are also learning. Huh? And he can keep this much control, we can keep this much control. Little control we have. So therefore, we have to see his power and influence, Upadrashta, Anumanta, Bharta, Bhokta, Maheshwara, as he says in the Bhagavad Gita. He is the director, he is a permitter, he is a sanctioner, and he is a maintainer, and he is everything. He is the supreme, he is the father, and we are like children, tiny children, who are unable to see him. So by seeing his influence in this world, we should bow down to him. This way, Daksha Prajapati bowed down. Let's take questions for a couple of minutes. Anybody? One question. So this second verse was about the super soul. What is the first verse about? First verse was about how the material energy is glitter and glamour, keeps the living entities submerged in illusion, and they can't see the hand of Supreme Lord. Correct, no? Yeah, like I gave the example of Prabhupada and the birds we were saying. Correct, no? And the second verse talks about how even though we can't see him, we can bow down to him, knowing well that not even a blade of grass can move without his sanction. Yes, yes. And there is one hand up here. Please give it him behind there. Quick, quick, quick. Don't waste time. Yeah. You can start, Prabhu. Yeah, you can go ahead.
Hare Krishna, Prabhu. Thank you for the wonderful class. I was having this question. Like living entities, they are under the spell of Maya, right? That Abnivesha, which you frequently mention in your lectures, that is covering living entity.
Yeah.
So how, what Krishna sees, so that the curtain will be lifted and everything is clear to the living entity.
Correct.
So what should we do
So
from
you
our
can
side?
hear one lecture called as when Krishna puts a veil and when does he reveal. You put the word V-E-I-L, veil and reveal. You put these two words. I had spoken about 1.5 hours on this recently. You will get it. And after hearing that, if you still have question, you can write to me. Okay? Because that will take some time to explain. Now we will sing this one now. Nava Gauravaram, Nava Pushpasharam, Nava Bhavadaram, Nava Lasya Param, Nava Bhavadaram, Nava Navahasya Nava Hemavaram, Pranamami Shachi Sutta Gauravaram. Navahemavaram, Pranamami Shachi Sutta Nava Premayutam, Nava Nita Shucham, Nava Veshakritam, Nava Premarasam. Navada Vilasa Shubha Premamayam, Pranamami Shachi Sutta Gauravaram. Navada Vilasa Shubha Premamayam, Pranamami Shachi Sutta Gauravaram. Hare Bhakti Param, Hari Namadharam, Karajapyakaram, Hari Nama Param. Hari Bhakti Param, Hari Namadharam, Karajapyakaram, Hari Nama Param. Nayane Satatam, Pranaya Shrudaram, Pranamami Shati Sutta Gauravaram. His complexion is the hue of fresh cream tinged with kumkum. He is the ever-fresh Cupid who shoots arrows of newly blossoming flowers. He bears newer and newer moods of emotional ecstasies. He is fond of performing novel dances. He makes ever new jokes that causes much laughter. His brilliant luster is like freshly cast gold. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Shachi. He is endowed with ever fresh love of Godhead. His radiant luster is like the color of fresh butter. His fresh attire is arranged in ever new fashions. He relishes ever new mellows of love for Krishna. He shines in ninefold new ways while executing the new ninefold processes of devotion. He is permeated with a most auspicious loving nature. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Shachi. He is absorbed in devotion to Sri Hari. He maintains the chanting of the names of Hari. While chanting, he counts the holy names on the fingers of his hands. He is addicted to the name of Hari. He always has tears of love welling in his eyes. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Shachi. He is always removing the suffering of material existence for mankind. He is the goal of life for persons who are dedicated to their supreme interest. He inspires men to become like honeybees, eager for the honey of Krishna Prema. He removes the burning fever of the material world. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Shachi. He motivates pure devotion unto himself. He is most attractive to his beloved servitors. By his dramatic dancing, he exhibits the characteristics of the king of paramours. He causes the minds of beautiful young village women to dance. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Shachi. He plays kartals as his throat emits sweet melodious sounds and the vibrant notes of the veena are softly played. He thus inspires the devotees to perform dramatic dancing that is infused with aspects of his own devotional service. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Shachi. He is accompanied by the Sankirtan movement, which is the religious practice for the age of Kali. He is the son of Nanda Maharaj come again. He is extraordinarily brilliant ornament of the earth. His preaching mood is suitably adapted to the cycle of birth and death. His consciousness is fixed in the meditation on his own form of Krishna. He is always accompanied by his transcendental abode. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Shachi. His eyes, the soles of his feet, and his clothing are reddish like the color that heralds the rising sun. As he utters his own names, his voice falters. He awakens a sweet flavor to life throughout the universe. I bow down to Gaura, the beautiful son of Mother Shachi. Shri Shri Sachi Susashtakam ki, Shri Gauranga Mahaprabhu ki, Shri Shri Gaurnitai ki, Shri Prabhupada ki.